What is up, everyone? Ojo over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another News Essence video. I want to first say thank you to everyone out there who have been helping out the channel, liking, subscribing, sharing, and watching the videos. Seriously, you guys are amazing, and I intend to keep it up. And I also want to say, just as a reminder, that News Essence goes down twice a day, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. PT/9 a.m. ET, and 6 p.m. PT/9 p.m. ET. So make sure you check out News Essence Monday through Friday, and of course all the other content that we have here on Player Essence. Now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into today's topics. And I want to first start off with the game called A Hat in Time. Now I had a number of you guys link this to me via Twitter and other networks, so thank you to everyone who did that. You know who you are. And Hat in Time is not coming to Nintendo Switch according to the developers, but I think this one is trivial. This one is easy why this is not coming. Now the people who make Hat in Time, they are an independent developer. They are small. They've been working on this game for a long time. We talked about this game, A Hat in Time, coming back to the Wii U, okay? So this game has been in development for a long time. This game runs on Unreal Engine 3, not Unreal Engine 4, which is natively supported on the Nintendo Switch, but Unreal Engine 3. And there lies the problem, guys. Well, there's a couple different problems. One, they're an indie developer, so they don't have the most amount of resources, time, and manpower in order to get a port done. And two, it's on Unreal Engine 3, not Unreal Engine 4. If this game was an Unreal Engine 4 game, then there'd be no problem. But the issue that I have is that a lot of Nintendo fans out there have went over to their page and basically been kind of rude to them when it comes to like demanding a Nintendo Switch port and not understanding the logistics behind it, not understanding the money situation. Now, if a publisher swoops in, kind of like how Nintendo went to Psyonix and said, hey, can we get Rocket League on the Nintendo Switch? And they probably provided some assistance when it comes to it, said, hey, you guys can use Panic Button, and the people who make Rocket League sell millions upon millions upon millions of copies on other systems, then that makes sense. Then they have the manpower and resources in order to outsource it to Panic Button in order to get a Nintendo Switch version done. And if you remember, the Nintendo Switch version definitely had some major differences graphically and other effects wise when it comes to the PS4 and Xbox One. Not necessarily because it couldn't handle it, it's just because Unreal Engine 3 isn't natively supported on that system, so you're not going to get the full suite of support that you see on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Now, if you're trying to talk to an independent developer who has already delayed and had this game out for so long, exactly how do you expect them to get this type of game when it took them this long to get it on the base platforms that support Unreal Engine 3? How are they going to get that on Nintendo Switch? I guarantee you, if a publisher swoops in and says, hey, you know what, we want this game on Nintendo Switch, we'll pay for it, or we'll get somebody to do it, or we'll give you resources, they would have no problem. But I think they're getting a bit snippy with people out there because they don't understand, and I think that they've already explained that that's not how it works when it comes to game development. You can't just snap your fingers, then all of a sudden a game is ready to go. Yes, the Nintendo Switch is more than capable of handling a game with the graphical intensity, or whatever you want to call it, of A Hat in Time. Obviously, there are games that look much better than it, but it's all about the time and resource management. It's about the engine. It's not natively supported, so you're going to have issues with the port. You pretty much have to redo things completely or custom port it yourself, and that's a lot of extra work and a lot of work that an independent developer just can't do. Now, we saw this before, even with the Nintendo Wii U, where games would come to PS4, Xbox One, independent games, smaller ones on Unreal Engine 4, but since there wasn't that native support on the Wii U didn't get that game. Not because it couldn't handle it, but it just didn't get that game. In fact, there was only going to be one game on the Nintendo Wii U that actually used Unreal Engine 4 because it was going to be ported over, and that was Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night. But they actually ended up canceling that version and moving that over to the Nintendo Switch, yet they're still keeping the PS Vita version. Apparently, that's going to have a custom ported Unreal Engine 4 to it. So that's going to be a lot of work. Obviously, that's going to be a ton of work for the developers, and they just don't have the resources to do that. So some of you guys have to understand that's what's going on with A Hat in Time on the Nintendo Switch. It's not going to be something to where they can just get it out there. It's going to take some more time if it is going to come, but based on what they've had to say here, it's not going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. just because they probably don't have the time and resources, and obviously it doesn't have that native Unreal Engine support, Unreal Engine 3 support. Guarantee you guys, if this was Unreal Engine 4, this game would be on the Nintendo Switch, but it's not, so we're just gonna have to accept that and move on. There will be other 3D platformers to play, there will be other games that you can play, and I think that Nintendo is still in a really good spot, even if it doesn't have this game here, A Hat in Time. But people do like the game. It's definitely not bad by any means. I think there are a lot worse 3D platformers when it comes out there, and I think that they're doing pretty good on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. I know the last time they gave us a sales update, they said they're over 100,000 copies sold, so that's really good for a small independent game like that. I'm pretty sure they'll top out at more than double that when it's all said and done. So what do you guys think about Hat in Time not coming to Nintendo Switch in terms of my explanation when it comes to Unreal Engine 3 compared to Unreal Engine 4, what the Nintendo Switch supports natively? Do you agree, disagree? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the next article here, we do have a live stream set for Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, but unfortunately it's at 2 a.m. PT, and that is 5 a.m. ET. It's going down tomorrow in Japan. Now, depending on when you're watching this, it could be today, it could be when you're watching this right now, and the information from that could already be available. So keep that in mind, that this could change when it comes to it. So I don't have all the details, I don't have all the facts in terms of what they're going to be talking about, but I did get a number of requests from you guys out there asking me to explain what's going down with this game. Why should we be hyped about Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, and what's it about? This is a 3D action game that started back on the Wii, and it's made by the famed developer Suda51. He's kind of crazy, kind of does all these things, the Fire Pro Wrestling. He's just kind of bonkers and just says what he wants at times, and that's kind of what he puts into his games. You can really see his personality that kind of shines through, whether it's in Travis Touchdown, it's in the characters in the game. Everything just kind of flows from Suda, and you can see that somebody kind of crazy made this game if you go back and play the games on the Wii. And for those who don't know, that's where these games originally came from. Back on the Wii, there was No More Heroes, and it starred Travis Touchdown, an otaku who basically went around with a lightsaber and slashed people up. It was a great setup. It was a great story progression. You really fell in love with the characters, no matter how disgusting or charming that they were. And I think that the game just has so many memories, so many just unique things, especially with the first No More Heroes, that people just weren't doing back then on the Nintendo Wii. So it's refreshing to see that style come back. Now there's also a sequel. There's No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle, which was also really good. They added in normal controls because remember guys, for those who haven't played the game, this is a 3D action game. Think kind of like God of War, kind of like Devil May Cry, but nowhere near as in depth. But just think 3D action game, more like it. You don't really do a ton of air combos, but you just slash people up, and then it goes into like a kill animation to where it'd be like a quick time event almost, and then like you do a finishing move. So it's more like that. No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle improved greatly upon the formula of the first game. You don't have to use motion controls for the whole game. The graphics were sharpened up a bit. The sound quality was better. They took away the annoying kind of open world parts. They put in a lot more mini games. It was a fully fleshed out experience that was really fun. The story was absolutely crazy, and I beat the game multiple times and I still don't quite understand what's going on in the game. So that's the thing about No More Heroes. It's a bit crazy, super action heavy, really violent, and it's really funny. You're gonna laugh out loud a number of times in the game, and that's the reason why people are excited about it. They love Travis Touchdown. They like the mentality of the game. They like the direction and focus. It's never been a perfect game. It's not going to be a perfect game. If you go back and play those games, you're gonna be like, man, there's a lot of rough edges, but it's all the other things that kind of add up that's going to make this a great experience because you know who it's coming from when it's Suda. But I do feel that this game, when it comes to Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, has a chance to be much better than the first two games because they're getting a lot more support from Nintendo. This is something that's being backed up by Nintendo. Nintendo has shown it off. They're using Unreal Engine 4, so they're using a standard engine that's out there to where they can get tools, they can get things implemented quicker in order to just get that support that they need. And I think games like this definitely can use the Unreal Engine 4 more so than other games because this has been a long time since we've seen this franchise. It's not like there's been an HD engine out there for No More Heroes. The PS3 game just seemed to me like a port of whatever they used on the Wii. It didn't seem like something that was built for HD because the game barely looks better. It just looks a little bit smoother on the PS3. So this will be the first one that's really built for an HD system to where they can go forward, and I think that they're going to have a ton of success for that. So those are the reasons why you should be hyped for this game. This is going to be a great action title. It's probably going to have some issues here and there, but the story is already setting up to be just as crazy as the other games. It looks like they're going to improve the graphics tenfold at this point by using Unreal Engine 4, and of course Suda51. He just makes these scenarios, he makes these gameplay elements, he puts these things into the game that you're just never going to see coming. So there's the surprise factor, hasn't been around for almost a decade factor, and just the fact that it's Suda. So that's why I'm excited for this, and that's why I think you guys should be. Remember, the live stream is going down at 2 a.m. I'll try to stream it if I can, but I probably will be asleep. So I'll probably report on it when it comes to PE News at 12 p.m. PT/3 p.m. ET tomorrow. So look forward to my report then and there. So what do you guys think about No More Heroes? Travis Strikes Again getting a brand new live stream here. Are you excited for the game yet? Did I get you hyped? Did I not? Do you need to see some more? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And moving into the last article here, we're going to be talking about some Square Enix support when it comes to the Nintendo Switch and some of my thoughts, because I do have quite a number of things to say about this. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Square Enix recently talked about the Nintendo Switch and what they're going to be doing with the system, and here's what they had to say. Quote, "They haven't done badly," Square Enix president and CEO Yusuke Matsuda explained to Edge when asked about how the company's games have fared on the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, it only came out last March, so it hasn't been long, but of all the publishers who are working on the Nintendo Switch, we've done quite a few things. It's a very attractive platform. There are a lot of people within the company that are looking to make games on the Nintendo Switch. So now what we do know for 2018 is that Dragon Quest Builders, Fear Effect Sedna, Project Octopath Traveler, The World Ends With You are coming to the Nintendo Switch. We also have Dragon Quest Builders 2 as well coming to the system. And I do want to say with Square Enix support, I think that this company, they're doing a good job. Let's not sit here and act like they're not, because there are some people who feel that Square Enix should be doing a lot more. They want to see Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, they want to see all these different things come on the Nintendo Switch all at once. And I think that that's not feasible when you're talking about releasing games from a publisher. You definitely need to have a little bit more of a slower build up when it comes to your titles. You need to see the install base. There are things and factors that a lot of Nintendo fans just don't understand that play into it, which is okay. I'm not expecting people to understand that, but I feel that Square Enix has been doing a great job. I want to talk about the good first, then I'll talk about what they can do a little bit better. Dragon Quest Builders 1, Dragon Quest Builders 2. That is really good. Both of those games are going to be fantastic. I've been playing Dragon Quest Builders, which Nintendo did give me a review copy for, and it is phenomenal. I live streamed it the other day. It is so much fun to play on the Nintendo Switch. Heck, I was even playing it portable mode. It's even more fun to play it that way as well. It's such a chill, relaxed game to where you can get into, and I think it's one of the games that people really don't pay attention to and should pay more attention to when it comes to Square Enix's best franchises. Honestly, I believe that it's that good. So that's awesome. The fact that we're getting Dragon Quest Builders 2 pretty much day and date with the PS4 version of the game is awesome as well. I think they're even going to make more improvements to that version of the game in order to get it out on the Nintendo Switch. Project Octopath Traveler, that is also really good. I love the fact that they're working with Nintendo and the Bravely team in order to get that game out on the Nintendo Switch. We've played the demo. You guys all know it's awesome. A lot of people are excited and hyped about that. Over 1 million downloads on the Nintendo Switch. So those are all really good. However, Square Enix, you can't sit here and say that they've done everything right when it comes to it, because there still are some games that people really want not over on the Nintendo Switch. For example, Dragon Quest XI. We still haven't gotten that one yet, but remember, that game hasn't released worldwide yet on any platform. It's only in Japan. So that's the one thing that you can't really knock them too much for, and they're probably still optimizing and getting the game to run good on the Nintendo Switch using that Unreal Engine 4. Now, another thing to where I can say is completely their fault is the Seiken Densetsu collection, otherwise known as the Secret of Mana collection, that has the collection of the first 3 games. That is a big problem that it's not localized at this point, because I have a really big issue with that, because they actually localized and remade the Secret of Mana game, Secret of Mana remake, on the PS4 and PS Vita, and that's getting a worldwide localization and even getting a physical edition. Yet Nintendo Switch fans, which would probably buy this game just as much as people that are going to buy the Secret of Mana remake on the PS4 and PS Vita, we have not received any word or anything about the Secret of Mana collection coming over, and I think that is a big issue. I do take issue with that, prioritizing those fans in terms of PS4 with the Secret of Mana remake over Nintendo Switch for some reason. And it's been going on a year now, and we really haven't heard anything. And those are really great games when it comes to Secret of Mana 1, 2, and 3. So can that still happen? Absolutely, it can still happen. We can still get the Secret of Mana collection, and I think at some point they will localize it, but just not being really upfront with us, not letting us know, not giving us anything and saying, okay, well, if you want us to, then let us know. I guess like one of the M2, the people who developed it, saying that. And we've had multiple people say, hey, yes, we want that, and still nothing at this point outside of, okay, yeah, well, we're looking into it. So I do feel that that was a little bit of a misstep when it comes to that, or at least they need to be a little bit more upfront when it comes to the Secret of Mana collection and their plans and what they want to do, because there was nothing for so long. Now, when it comes into other things that I feel that Square Enix could do better, I do feel when it comes to the support that Final Fantasy, I think that for some reason they treat Nintendo fans and Final Fantasy like the plague. It's like, no, Nintendo fans can't have Final Fantasy in any capacity. And if we do get Final Fantasy, it's like Final Fantasy, My Life as a Dark Lord or something like that. And with the Nintendo Switch, we got that whole kind of Final Fantasy 15 type of deal, but it seems like that's probably not going to be coming at this point, but we still need to wait. I mean, it could, we just don't know, but I want them to treat Final Fantasy in terms of anything, not just Final Fantasy, the new ones, but just give us something when it comes to Final Fantasy. Don't give us Crystal Chronicles, even though that's an awesome game on the GameCube. They're good games. Don't give us that, but at least give us our own main Final Fantasy. At least give us Final Fantasy VI Remake. At least give us a Final Fantasy X or Final Fantasy X-2. Give us something that we can have on the system so we can have a main Final Fantasy as well on Nintendo systems. I'm not exactly sure why Xbox can get main Final Fantasy games, but yet Nintendo can't get main Final Fantasy games. Still to this point, despite Nintendo fans and Nintendo Switch fans saying, yeah, we'll buy your games. We're going to buy your RPGs. Okay, so I don't understand Square Enix's thought process on that. And like I said, it doesn't need to be the highest tech Final Fantasy 15 or whatever it is. We'll take an old one. Is there a reason why we haven't gotten a Final Fantasy X or X-2 port on the Nintendo Switch? What about Final Fantasy 12 on the Nintendo Switch? What about the older games in terms of Final Fantasy 6 Remake or one of the older ones, 5 or 2 or 1 or whatever it is? Now, I know that we got The World Ends With You, which is really good, and shout out to them for that. Nintendo seems to be publishing that one, so maybe they look to get that one, but I want to see them go a little bit further and take the initiative when it comes to it. Square Enix, in my opinion, is doing a great job. Seriously, they are doing a great job, and don't sit here and think that I'm bashing them or anything like that. I love the support that they're giving us, and I think they're going to give us even more support, and I'll have a little bit to talk about that, and I have a little bit of a tease for you guys. But at the same time, I don't want them to think that, oh, it's all gravy and they don't need to put Final Fantasy on the Nintendo Switch and all this stuff, while Xbox gets Final Fantasy after Final Fantasy after Final Fantasy. They got Final Fantasy 11, they got Final Fantasy 13, they got all the 13 2s and all that stuff on the Xbox platform. That Nintendo, which fans would buy, don't get any of that at all. So I want to see them kind of change the atmosphere, change the attitude going forward when it comes to Final Fantasy on Nintendo platforms. But with you, Dragon Quest XI and Project Octopath are going to sell extremely well on the Nintendo Switch, and we all know this. You guys will see. If you don't believe so, wait till the sales come out. Just before I end this video, I do have a little bit of tease for you guys. So I do know of one Square Enix game that nobody really knows of when it comes to, nobody's actually reported on it. Now, there might be other people that know about it, and I think I've heard many other people hint about it, but there are some Square Enix titles, and there's one that I know of that I can say for sure, yes, this game is coming over. And I'm not going to tell you guys any other details outside of that, but yes, there is a nice Square Enix game coming over. So I am hopeful. You don't have to believe me, but me personally, I'm hopeful for the future, because when I learned about this game, I was like, okay, that's pretty good. We'll see how it does. So I'm looking forward to what Square Enix has to offer. I do feel that they can do better, but I'm hopeful for the future based on the words here, based on the little bit that I know and the content that we do have coming when it comes to Project Octopath, The World Ends With You, and Dragon Quest XI. I think it's going to be a good year for Square Enix on the Nintendo Switch. Wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerSense across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon and YouTube live gaming page and consider supporting PlayerEssence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emails via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting PlayerEssence right here on YouTube. We also have Twitch as well. I'm an official Twitch affiliate, so make sure you check out our Twitch page too. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you for the next video. Peace.